Hey y'all, welcome back to Fabricable Garage. In today's video, we're going to be changing out the oil in our front diff and transfer case of my 1988 Honda 300 4x4. As you saw, we went ahead and cleaned it up just a little bit, mostly around the engine and the transfer case and the front differential, just to make it a little bit easier to work on. Now, if you don't have a 300 or you haven't seen one before, these old ones, they actually, when I mean transfer case, they actually have a little transfer case right there, as you can see. Let me get a little light. Let's see if I can turn it on. There we go. Let's see. There we go. So, as you can tell, with a two-wheel drive, it's almost exact same. You'll have this right here, which is your output for your rear. But with the four-wheel drive, if you look at this black piece here, it continues to this little transfer case here, and I believe it's just a chain drive in there, and that goes to your front diff, which is hiding right back in there. If you look at like most four-wheelers, like Suzuki Eiger, we can peek in there. I don't know if we can get a good view on this one without the plastics. Take a look at or like a Big Bear. If you look, the front shaft on this one, it kind of comes from underneath and in front of the motor case, and a Suzuki Eiger does pretty much exactly that. The output comes right out the front. So the same on the old King Quads. If you look, there is no transfer case, it just comes right out. So that's one thing about these Hondas, is you have to make sure to check that oil, and just another little thing to maintain, as well as your front diff, which is just like any little front diff. So first thing we're going to do, we'll start with the differential, just because it's just a little bit easier. As you can see, it's pretty easy to get to actually. This little guy right here, this I believe 10mm bolt, you'll crack that open and take it off, and that'll drain your differential. And then this big one right here, you'll just fill it up until it comes out. So we're going to do that real quick, and then we'll get on to the differential right over there. Alrighty, so as you can see, we got that let's see. There we go. As you can see, we got that drained, or draining I should say, and you can see it's pretty milky and watery in there, so it's good that we drained it. As you can tell, it's not draining too fast, and that's for one because the drain plug, or the fill plug right there, is still on, and two, there's supposed to be a little vent hose somewhere. Let me try to find it real quick, and that's probably clogged. Let's see right there, you can see that little hose right there, it's probably clogged, which can also cause your seals to go bad. So we'll make sure to blow it out, or take it off and blow it out, and we'll go ahead and pull this cap off right here to help it drain a little bit faster. And yeah. Alrighty, so as you can see, we got that cap off, and we went ahead and put the drain plug back on and drained everything out. If you're wondering, that cap is a 17mm socket. And it just comes right off. They're sometimes kind of snug, especially if they've been on there for a while. So just give it a little oomph and it should come right off. They are aluminum, so there is a chance, because I know especially for like the the Yamaha Big Bears, they have aluminum drain caps for the engine oil, and they like to strip really bad, but so far these haven't done that. But just remember to be careful. What I also like to do, especially if there's a bunch of gunk in there, or at least water like there was with this one, I like to spray it out with some brake cleaner to help push all that water out, and then the brake cleaner will just evaporate on its own, and then you can fill it up. So what we're going to do real quick is get the fluid. I have some still open. Now whenever you're getting fluid, you want to get hypoid It's recommended to have, I think, 80-90 weight and a hypoid for hypoid gearing or gears, I believe, just for the way all this stuff works. So it's kind of tricky. You're just gonna put it in there. Let's see if I can get this. Bring back our catch can, because like I said, you're just gonna fill this up until it leaks out. Oh, let's see. Try to get some light in there. See, I don't think we're completely full yet. I think I just pushed a little too hard. Oh, sorry. Just like that. So you can even see how it's right on the edge in there. And then we're just gonna put our cap back on. And switch over our socket. Sorry, it's kind of difficult with one hand. I'm not the most coordinated. Sorry, my wrench is skipping. Let's see. Let me put this down real quick. There we go. Alrighty. Sorry about that. As you can see, we got it all on and everything. Fresh fluid. Now we're gonna do the transfer case. As you can see, I wasn't able to completely get it. Let's see. Cleaned up, so I'm gonna get a rag. That right there, that bolt, that's gonna be, instead of like this one, where you fill right there and you just fill it up till it comes out of that. This one, I'll show you in a second. It's on the very top and you don't want to fill it up to there. That little plug right there, you're gonna take that plug out and you're gonna fill it up till it comes out of there. And then here in a second, I'll show you where the drain is right after I get all this cleaned up a little. Alrighty, so if you look along the case, I'll make it to where you actually see it. That bolt right there, that's the furthest one. Let's see that. Come on, focus. That one right there, it's bigger than the rest of them. And also, if you look right above it, it tells you that's the drain. So that one there's the drain, and you can kind of see it. Oh, knocked over the drill. Right there is your fill line, and there we go. And there is your fill point. So that's still a 17, and both of those are a 12. The way I got to it right here, this plastic piece, I took out the nut and bolt that was here, that goes to there, and then this part right here just screws past that. I just kind of took those out and pulled it just enough to reach in there. So what we'll do is we'll just undo that one and let it drain out, and then put it back in. Then we'll undo that fill line and fill it up till it comes out, and we'll be done. Well, we'll have to put the plastic on, but we'll be done. Alrighty, so I went ahead and pulled out the plugs, and as you can see, they're draining and it's very milky. Now, interesting thing, let me see if I can get a good lighting. Might be better without it. Very interesting thing. I pulled the drain plug, or the overflow plug to where you check it. I pulled that one first, and it actually drained quite a bit. And obviously, as you can tell from this milky color, there's a lot of water in there, and possibly it was overfilled, but most likely that's just the water. I've been noticing that the front seal on this little transfer case has been it looks like it's been leaking. So obviously, if it's leaking oil out, it's leaking water in. So we may be looking at doing a seal on one of these, or on this one here sooner or later. But I went ahead and pulled both of them, got them draining, and we'll go ahead and get this fill cap. Like I said, they're kind of snug, but not too bad. But yeah, so we're pretty much done drip drying. We'll spray in some carb cleaner real quick just to help get some of that stuff out like I mentioned before. And then we'll fill it up and close everything off. And one thing I almost forgot to mention, that bolt, it actually was not a 10, it was a 12 millimeter. We went ahead and cleaned it up real quick on the inside. And here is that bottom bolt. Now it also acts as holding the two halves of the case together. So that's why it looks a little bit longer. So we'll go ahead and put that one back in. Let's see. And I just got a wrench for this one. Now this one was pretty snug. I actually had to double up the wrenches to get it off just because this wrench was pretty short. If you've never seen that before, especially if you don't have a whole bunch of strength or a whole bunch of leverage, what you do is you'll take your wrench, but you can kind of see it on there. I have the box end on the bolt, and I'm gonna take this wrench is just a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna interlock the box end on this one on the open end of the other one. See if I can do it real quick. There. And then that gives you a lot more leverage to be able to tighten it down. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you'll have, this right here. So you'll have your one wrench, and then say you'll have this on a bolt like here. You'll take this other wrench and put it in like that. So you go around that to loosen, put on the other side to tighten, and that just doubles up the wrench. Now you do have to be careful because this can swivel, especially when you're pressing really hard. It can slip and you can bust your knuckles, so you just got to be careful of that. But yeah, so we got that one all tightened up. Now we'll take our oil and we'll just put it in. Alrighty, so as you can see, we filled it up. You're just like the other one, you're gonna fill it up till it comes out of that hole and put your plug back in. We went ahead and got this side cover back on, and then we're gonna put our little cap back, just like so. And you just want to be careful, especially with bigger stuff like this. With these aluminum threads, if you try to cross thread it, it can be easy when they have super fine threads. These are not too bad. You just want to be careful and make sure that you don't cross thread them. And put it just kind of snug. And that'll do it for this one. So if you like the video, drop a like. If you have any questions or comments or anything that I might not have clearly gone over in the video, just leave a comment. If you like the channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell to keep updated on the videos, and check out the other videos, and we will see y'all in the next one.